Alright, looks like we have a lobby. This is going to be Phoenix Rising Amethyst versus Can't Counterpick Stupid. They are in the Dark Conversion League, or division, of the Thursday night late NEXOMANIA group. Just waiting on one player to enter the game. They've been here the whole time, just, you know, sometimes that happens. And I need a glass of water. I haven't looked at the standings particularly for these teams, so I don't know who's ahead, who's behind, if anyone is. But we won't worry about that. We'll just focus on these games. I guess I can update my thing. We are going to Sky Temple. I don't know if anyone is out there watching. More likely we'll have people, the players themselves, watch this back later. But definitely not a lot of excitement in chat yet. I'm sure if I got myself a camera and were a female, I would have all of the followers. But as it stands, I'm a very unpopular streamer, seeing as I stream once every 6 months or so. I can't blame anybody for that. Maybe I should have left the videos playing. Oh, he is pending. He's in the lobby. Okay, we have two teams. And hopefully I have everything set up. It looks like my voice is coming through. At least on my end. So, we go into the draft. I didn't really pay attention to who got first pick, but it looks like it's CCS1. Brightwing, pretty common ban these days. Kind of handy for your offlaner. Rotating through points. Rhaegar, super common as well. A little bit overbuffed in the last patch. Second ban. Could be a target ban. It could be just a meta ban. Dahaka is a common one too, but if they've done their scouting, which I don't see why they wouldn't, maybe Phoenix Rising Amethyst plays Garrosh a lot, so they won't be on Sky Temple. Well, there it is. There's a Dahaka ban. However, that means that if they want, CCS can get Johanna, which is a very common tank these days. She only got a slight buff to her E, makes it deal more damage, but she was already a strong character, so it's been very, very popular. Not make or break. There's ways to play around her, but if you can get a strong character, why not? They chose Stukov. I'm not surprised. I know Wits End plays Stukov, and Stukov is also very strong right now. But now, Phoenix Rising can get Joe. And if nobody takes Joe, then I just don't know what's going on anymore. It's not a must pick, but they go Vala first to build some tension. And at the last second, they lock the Joe. For their second and third pick, can't counterpick stupid, is maybe good looking to live up to their name and pick something stupid. We'll see. Asmodan's pretty dumb, so I appreciate that. And a Nubarak. That's a solid tank. If Asmodan just takes his demonic invasion and runs it down, taking down forts, that's pretty dumb. But it's one way to win. I have seen it work in the past. I've seen Asmodans basically just die for no reason in the past as well. And I've seen many Asmodans not take that talent. Alright, Gazlo being banned out. Limiting the potential CC coming from the CCS. And Anduin, so no one can save you. Anduin is a pretty decent healer. And, you know, all the meta healers have already been banned and taken, so it limits your options, but you still got your Lucio available. We have Artanis coming in and Nazebo, so they're going to save their healer to last because it's not like CCS is going to take a second healer and block them. But CCS hasn't guaranteed that they've taken their solo laner yet. It could be Asmo, but it might be someone else. So they took the Artanis early, which gives CCS an option to, you know, counterpick the offlaner. We'll see if they choose to do that. Raynor and Hogger, yeah. So Hogger is going to be the offlaner, most likely. Hogger, Artanis can't exactly block him down. Oriel. So it should be a good matchup. And Oriel has the ability to save someone being dived on with the Aegis, so it fulfills the same role as Anduin, although they will be stuck in a puddle afterwards from Stukov, so it's a little dangerous. But we'll have to see how these teams play it out, because more than the characters, how you play them and how good you are at the game matter. As we're loading in, I guess I can talk about the drafts, which one I like more. I think the potential dive onto Vala is good with the Anub and Hogger, and then Stukov, once he gets his range on his E, can lock her down. And there's some peel with the Joe, but a lot of the damage from Hogger is not auto attack, it's abilities, so the blinds aren't going to do much. The half second stun's not much. But Artanis could get a swap, and then the zero Vala damage is really high, so I'm not sure which I like more. I do like the Stukov more than the Oriel, just in general. He's just really strong. But they have decent batteries for the Oriel, so we'll see. The loading screen is 98% done. There we go. All right. In the blue corner, we have Phoenix Rising Amethyst with Sylvester Chung on the Vala, Demon Grand on the Nazeebo, the Boomer 444 on Johanna, Lieutenant Barista on Oriel, and Docket on that guy, Artanis. In the red corner, Valkymer on Anubarak, Zephi on Hogger, Wit's End on Stukov, Caladorn on Asmodan, and Osprey on Raynor, Jimmy himself. Do they int for vision? Let's assume that they do. Talents, Searing Light, some damage coming out of Oriel. They don't go for vision. They hide in the bush. Nazeebo is not sure yet. Amateur opponent on Artanis. I guess he's going to be doing a lot of camps. Auto attack on Vala. And of course blind on Joe. Exterminator. So also doing camps. This isn't a BOE, guys. Gluttony. Beetles. On the prowl and low blow. Teams take out the mid-wave. Deal a little bit of damage, nothing too exciting. As a Hogger goes down bottom and just clears that right away. But the team rotates. There's no real value there. Just lets Counterpick Stupid's top team rotate a bit faster. So far no advantage, but it's only 1 minute into the game. Camps are popping up now, and Phoenix Rising Amethyst looked like they were in position for it. Yeah, Oriel starts it. But they go get the wave first. Meanwhile, Beetles just decide to push down a tower. A little bit of non-Sylvanas cheese. And they take top camp first. Jimmy and Stukov do a lot of damage. That shouldn't take too long. Meanwhile, Phoenix Rising Amethyst is wondering where they are, because normally people take the bottom camp first. And they got the announcement, they know now that the top camp's coming. They're putting a lot of pressure into top lane. That looks to be their strategy, which makes me think they're going to go for top objective when the two spawn and take out this fort if they haven't already. Meanwhile, Hogger has to clear this by himself or take the camp. Oh, I missed the kill. Too busy looking at the guy alone. But they have a lot of pressure, and so why would you leave? This fort might go down before the objective. The team is here, but that is a big wave that's not really being cleared. And it's gone. That was effective. We have Nazeebo versus Hogger. Spider's chasing him down. And now they're going to take... Phoenix Rising Amethyst is going to take their camp. We have a comment in chat about Artanis being an odd pick, but against an Asmo, might be able to get a good chance to land some swaps. Can't Counterpick Stupid takes their camp, holds it for a few seconds so they can line it up with the objective, and then the dive and silence. Nazeebo did not stand a chance. Apparently they just decided not to do any objective. They already took top. They're going to take bottom. That'll set them up for the second objective. It gives a lot of free, like top's going to go down for free. But if you're ahead on this map, then you can just trade objectives later and you still come out on top. We'll see if Hogger actually clears this camp up after he takes this. I guess he has a choice and he's choosing to take the objective. That's fair. Bottom fort goes down. Amethyst rotated, but too late, so now they have 4 heroes in a lane that's not doing anything. So that's a bit unfortunate for them. The strategy that Counterpick Stupid has clearly is working. Raynor's clearing the camp. They lost top, but they chose to do that. And they got, so far, half of mid. Objective's done. There's no point to stick around here anymore. And mid is 30%. So they traded 1 for 2.5, which my math says that's a good trade. Valkymer's just hanging out mid, soaking up damage because got to get those tank stats up. Meanwhile, Oh, I thought they were going to go to gank onto Nazebo, but they just backed off and took the wave. Nazebo started spiders, went blood ritual, and then into dead rush for the zombie wall. My personal preference is to just go spiders all the way down. Shield battery and solar reaper. Death dealer, hot pursuit, that's standard auto attack talents. Subdue and anti-healing for Johanna. I don't see anything too crazy on the other side. Big silence from Wit's End, just trying to get out of there. He was a bit far forward. Joe taking a lot of damage, but no one goes down in mid. Yeah, Nubarak's really strong because his minions just keep soaking shots and you can stay there forever. And big dive from a noob. Big follow-up from himself and then follow-up from the silence. And that's 2 quick kills on some squishy team members. That's kind of what I was afraid of when I looked at the drafts. And if you have a aggressive tank, you can get those picks. Bottom objective starting in 20 seconds. All 5 will be up, but they won't have 10s. Meanwhile, Osprey's taking a camp. That's going to be pushing at the same time. Well, my concern is not over who gets the objective. It's whether or not CCS decides to take boss during it. A lot of damage going out on the Artanis and the Joe. Joe has Iron Skin, yeah, that's what I thought. So she's not in dire trouble, but she can't stick around. And I missed the Nazebo invade. He takes out Raynor solo and steals a camp. That's going to be good for his team. So it looks like probably not boss since Raynor died. And just taking the camp and backing out. Caledorn gets swapped. There's the Artanis we mentioned before. But he just walks out of there. There's no follow-up, no death. Raynor, Osprey comes back, wants a little bit of revenge. Just clears the camp that got stolen from him. Meanwhile, the CCS takes their siege camp while Hogger finishes the objective. There's nothing else to stick around here for. And it looks like both teams are hanging around the boss, just checking to make sure that it's not getting stolen from them. Snuck away while they're not looking. CCS still firmly in control. Blessed Shield comes out though, on Wit's End. The Condemn and the Subdue, but not enough follow-up damage. And CCS is not missing any hit points. The counter attack, a noob dives in, gets a cocoon. Cocoon gets broken out. The silence comes out. Lots of damage, but no kills. And now it's a question of who still has abilities. The noob dives back in again. He's super low though, and I don't know how much further he can go. A big Q from Asmo. If Joe didn't have her Iron Skin, she was dead. But she did. Oh, here comes Hogger. There comes Valkymer. Diving and diving harder. And Caledorn gets the big Q with the Wit's End silence follow-up. I thought that was a finished fight, and they just kept diving. Every time Valkymer's burrow was up, he used it. There's another Blessed Shield, but you're not holding that by yourself. You're not getting any kills. So, bottom keep goes down. CCS being very, very aggressive, and they're going for boss. Hogger starts his infinite spin. Valkymer can't quite tank that forever. But the Beetles can. And they take boss with no contest, as you would expect. There's a camp pushing top, but that's not too much of a concern. They're taking bottom siege camp. Unfortunately, boss and siege camp are pushing where there's no more keep. So unless they push with it to end the game, which they are up 3 levels, they might. They're going in for the flank. Double dive, big silence. Vala gets out with 50 hit points. But the rest of the team is maybe not so lucky. Oriole goes down. Joe, nowhere to go. Pushed by the tornado. And this could be game. That was kind of mean with how much aggression they had. Yeah. They did not let up the pressure. 10 kills to 1. You know, report Raynor for feeding. Yeah, they just kept going, kept diving, and there wasn't too much Phoenix Rising Amethyst could do to stop the dive. With Valkyrie getting his burrow charge in and the impale for the double stuns, with Hogger hortapulting in and then getting his knockback and all that, with Stukov silencing underneath. That was pretty Stukov did about twice the healing. Oriel was dead quite a bit, unfortunately. Hazmodan did do a lot of damage. Both siege and hero damage. Looks like we are going to Infernal Shrines. If I can find it in the list, there it is. I'm just going to switch to the map view while we're in lobby. I don't know who's actually picking maps and everything. I could probably figure it out, but it's not that important. It looks like CCS2, CCS1, can't kind of look stupid, gets first pick again. So I would guess that Phoenix Rising chose map instead. But that's an interesting choice. First pick is really strong. Being able to counterpick is also good to get last pick, but with the current meta. But can't counterpick stupid didn't seem to even care about the Joe, so, you know, meta's out the window. So we go back to the band. So where do we start? Last time they banned Garrosh, and they banned Brightwing, right? This time they're banning Abathur. Don't see him too often in coordinated play, but he's definitely a interesting one. You can pair him with some fun stuff. Alternatively, the Rhaegar first ban again. We'll see if they ban the Stukov after last game. It was quite effective, although really it was just a follow-up, and there's other ways you can follow up to a noob dive, so I'm not sure if it was the problem, but it was definitely an issue. And Anduin first ban. I would guess that these are targeted in some way. And Brightwing. So they're not even caring about the Joe. Is it going to be Stukov first again? I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yep, there it is. Stukov. Solid choice. And even before he got buffed, Wit's End was a good Stukov, so yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. We'll see if we get the Azmodan again. Although, I don't want to say too much too early in case the teams are watching, but I'm going to wager that Caledon is going to pick Kael'thas. Alternatively, we have the Junkrat super annoying, can control a lot of traps around the point to keep your team in a good place during the objective. And Gazlo, turrets can give you vision, lots of CC, and some decent damage. Probably in the off lane. I'm not sure who wins Gazlo versus Hogger, but we get Hogger again. We got Nazebo. This time Osprey. Osprey was sad that he got killed by Nazebo and has taken him for himself. I love playing Nazebo. We'll see if he gets good value from it. But I just love spiders. Yeah, they identified the Anubarak was a problem, and they don't want to face that problem again. I don't blame them. We'll see if they have another dive tank in their pocket. They could pick Muradin. They could pick Arthas. Not really our dive tank, but no Joe. They waited a long time to ban it, but here it is. And we get to see the Garrosh. It was banned against them last time. Nope, it's the May. Deckard and May. So it looks like with the Gazlo, the Junkrat, and the Deckard, they're just going to build a bunker around the shrine with potions and turrets and traps. And with May, with the Blizzard, they can control a lot of space. Medivh is an interesting pick, always. It can do fun things. Against the Zeratul. Also an interesting pick, can do fun things. The Medivh is interesting because if one side of the objective is all trapped up, they can just portal to the other side and come in from a different angle. And you can fly over to see where all those traps are, because every bush is super dangerous now with Junkrat. But the Zeratul, if you're not paying attention, can kind of come out of nowhere and really hurt you. So, again, it comes down to the strategies these teams have and how they execute them. Zol is a good double soaker. Definitely, I think, would clear the wave faster than a Gazlo. Although Junkrat can move around the map pretty quick and help out. But yeah, they have Zol and Hogger, so they kind of have main tank Hogger. Or main tank Zol. It is Valkymer on the Zol, so main tank Zol. It's an option. I'm interested to see how successful it will be, because there are a number of melee heroes on Phoenix Rising Amethyst side, but Zeratul doesn't stay in melee long. Gazlo is melee, but he has a lot of ranged abilities. It'll be interesting. But we'll go red team first this time. We have Zephy on Hogger, Wit's End on Medivh, Osprey on Nazebo, Valkymer on Zol, and Kellet. Wait a second. Wit's End on Medivh and Caledorn on Stukov. They switched off their healer. And we have the Boomer on May, Docket on Gazlo, Barista on Deckard, Demon Grand on Zeratul, and Sylvester Chung on Junkrat. We do have Sapphire coming out, Cleave, Rocket Boots, Heat Transfer, Spiders, Portal Mastery, Shackler, Low Blow, and On the Prowl. We have offlaners already in offlane, just killing minions, kind of ignoring each other. Mid lane, the Medivh gives them rotation faster and quicker, quicker. But both teams are just soaking. There's a decent route coming out from the Deckard, a bit of slows, but ooh, the silence into the zombie wall on the May after she's used her ice block. She's taking a ton of damage, but doesn't quite go down. With a few more talents, I think she would have. That was pretty close on their tank. The zombie wall was good. Although I guess it was easy to land on someone that's not moving when they're in an ice block. Big 3-man route. Here comes the Zeratul damage. Junkrat boops them backwards, but gets stuck in the zombie wall and goes down. Big root onto May with the silence. She just walks out of it though. Meanwhile, Zil is also rooted. Here comes the portal. Does Zil get there in time? Yes. Tons of damage going out. Only one kill. Meanwhile, Gazlo and Hogger are pushing its opposite lanes. They're rotating up to soak each other's lanes. I would anticipate at some point soon camps will be taken. Yeah, there's CCS taking theirs. Phoenix Rising setting up a ward and a May as a ward, but Wits End scouts it out and they're a little bit afraid. They don't have fours yet. Yeah, and here comes CCS, so they're not even risking getting their camp invaded. Big slow, but the root does not connect. The root connects onto May, but she unstoppables it into a silence. Sylvester Chung taking a ton of damage in the back from, well, the Medivh and others. The portal gets them out. Yeah. Zol got really low. Junkrat got really low. But again, no one died this time. Trading blows in the off lane. Camp pushing. So CCS did get the camp and Phoenix Rising didn't. That's the only real advantage so far. But they do have a level. They're pushing really hard to get this bottom camp, but Valkymer is very low. Phoenix Rising doesn't force the issue. Demon Grand gets some damage in. But now they have to clear a camp while the objective is ready to go. Hogger did not take the Bruiser, but he's coming down to lane. Looks like he's just soaking. They start the objective. And with the zombie wall keeping him back and Valkymer getting his cleave damage, they take the first 9. But Valkymer's in deep. He uses his shield. He did get a protected and a portal out, but the Zeratul, I believe it was the his W, the delayed damage did get the kill. So Valkymer's down. Shrine minions are about even, but there's a big root and a stun coming out. Lots of damage. But in the back, Hogger comes and just murders Junkrat. He gets a spin. Valkymer's not back yet. Minions are equal, but Phoenix Rising's health bars are lower. So in the end, I think Counterpick Stupid does get this objective. I don't know if Zephy was going for the infinite spin, but he did not find it. But it doesn't matter. There are 5 people down here. Nope, Hogger split off. He's going to make sure they don't miss out on soak. There's 4 people down here pushing with a Punisher. Mortar Punisher, there's the jump. But follow-up's a bit too late. The zombie wall was there, but well after he had gone out. Meanwhile, the fort is hitting on Zebo while he's rooted and stunned. So he took a ton of damage. And it looks like they're not going to get this fort just yet. It took about half damage and the wall went down, which is not bad. But it's not nearly as much as they got in the last game early. But they do have minions pushing in, and so they're going to get some mid value. Probably take down this gate, maybe a tower. Yeah, not quite the tower. Valkymer is camping. I guess that's one of the advantages of main tank Zol. He can split off and do offlane stuff and camp stuff for a while. They decide to abandon the camp and just completely destroy May, who was maybe a little far away from her team. But it did buy them time for Phoenix Rising Amethyst to get their camp. So that's something. The experience, CCS is closer to 10, but only about 80% of the level. So by the time the objective spawns, they should both have it. Wits End is scouting out the Bruiser camp, but alone. Well, he has the ley line, and there it is. All right, well, this is a big fight. Valkymer was there, but not quite on the point. He was a bit far back, so the camp gets converted to Phoenix Rising Amethyst. Meanwhile, there's portals, there's swipes, there's teleports, and Demon Grand does make it out alive. He was a bit separated, but Zeratil's a bit slimy sometimes. Osprey did not respect the team at all and stayed way too long and gets annihilated. I have a feeling he may have known that was coming. I have a feeling the rest of these teammates should know that this is coming. Caledorn has no escape here. He doesn't even move, he just keeps attacking the minion, and he gets blown up too. Zeratil going a little deep. He wanted Valk. Valk was low, it's possible, but teleporting behind the wall into the keep, usually not going to work out for you. Meanwhile, Zephy gets the angle on the bottom keep and clears it by himself. And the experience has mostly evened up. CCS has a slight advantage, but not much. Those kills from behind are worth a lot more. And so even though they're down a kill, they got more experience in that last little bit. 10 talents. We have Stay a While and Listen. We have Void Prison. We have Gravo Bomb, so Void into Gravo into Junkrat with his Rocket Ride. Or alternatively, Ice Wall into Grav into Rocket Ride. So they have 2 big team lockouts versus only the one with the Leyline Seal. So there could be... Here comes the Void Prison. Here comes the Junkrat. And the Gravo. And there it is. The big combo. And the follow-up sleep. That's 3 dead team members. It's better be 3 dead. There it is. And in the meantime, they also lock down Caledorn. But with the keep the fort there, I don't think he's going down. That's the combo I was just talking about. Executed perfectly. The May Ice Wall, not really necessary, but wanted to get in on the action. And this could be Phoenix Rising Amethyst's chance to take their objective and apply some pressure. May warding the bush, but she's low. A little bit dangerous. Rest of the ults, we saw the swipe. Poison Nova and Hortibolt for that dive again. Hogger knows what's up. Doesn't even go in on the objective, just decides I'm going to get this bottom structure as he goes off spinning into the distance. Teams get close to each other in the mid. And here comes the root. Here comes the counter root. There's the Poison Nova. May is poisoned to death, but not quite. There's the heal comes through. Medivh gets some damage. Hortibolt comes through. Gazlo goes down. May goes down. Damage everywhere. Osprey's chasing Demon Grand with his voodoo ghost, whatever it's called. And Caledon... Sorry, not Caledon. Zeratil goes down, and Junkrat goes down. And Lieutenant Barista, trying to do the Deckard thing where you can, just live forever. He walks in, distracts the team, heals himself, and walks out. But meanwhile, top lane, it's huge and getting bigger. Bottom lanes, they're about even size. And mid has obviously a Punisher coming in. I gotta be careful of that first jump. Boomer takes it. Main tank taking it. That's a good plan. That fort is definitely down. It's just a question of how risky do you go. Here comes the Void Prison. No Gravabomb because Gazlo was trapped in the Void Prison. So he didn't get to time it right. And the combo didn't come through that time. Gazlo goes down, but nope, Medivh does not. Zeratil goes down chasing the Medivh. May goes down to Spiders. No, yes, no, yes. Spiders get the kill. And the Punisher is just chucking along. Meanwhile, Hogger's doing Hogger things. I thought that the combo was coming through again, but with the Gazlo not being able to get his Gravo because he was stuck in it, they were able to walk out before the big damage. It's kind of unfortunate. Meanwhile, they are pushing mid. They're going a bit aggressive. Osprey at risk of dying, but the swipes keep him alive, and the heal comes through. Zeratil's damage not quite enough, especially with that 40 armor that Osprey has. Augur, again, I don't know, man. This is a little risky. He does not stick around. And he hortipults out. Okay. He had his escape. He knew what he was doing. He was just helping them get their camp. Meanwhile, Valkymer, he's cleaving down his bruiser camp. Caladorn doing his. They're doing all the camps except bottom. Hogger might be going there. Osprey, zombie walls to protect himself. The big damage from Zeratul comes in, but the big poison damage and spiders takes the kill. But the combo on one definitely is enough. This game, a lot more action than the last. Caladorn swipes to keep himself alive and gets out. However, the map is fairly red. Camp top, 2 camps mid. As I said before, though, they did not take bottom camp, so Phoenix Rising gets their opportunity to take this camp before they go and clear everything. Except that Wit's End is here and has Leyline. So, does he go for this deal? With the way this game's been going, I imagine he will. Yeah. But Boomer predicted it. There's the root, there's the stun. He gets the teleport and his corpse flies away. Meanwhile, here comes the rest of the team, Valkymer and Caladorn with the Poison Nova and the Silence. Huge damage, but the sleep comes not lasting long with the minions attacking him. And they get the Deckard, but Zol goes down himself. And Caladorn, again, just trying to survive. It's 2 kills for 1 for Phoenix Rising Amethyst. So a good trade, except that they're losing top keep because Hogger is just doing Hogger things. I'm not sure if Steffi's on this team or if he's just on his own team. He likes to just ignore everything. But Demon Grand, with that Vorpal Blades, he can chase anybody anywhere and gets that last hit and kill. So it's level advantage, map advantage to CCS. But 2 of their members are dead versus 5. They were first to objectives, so they have more shrine minions, but they're going to have to back up as the members of Phoenix Rising Amethyst join the fray. There's an ice wall, catches 1. The blizzard underneath with the bomb. He's double stunned, but the Leyline Seal saves his life, and 6 spiders chasing May because she auto-attacked him for the 6th and takes a ton of damage. And her ice block is down, the root. Zol gets the kill, but Medivh is traded out for it. Those spiders are doing a lot of work. As I said, spiders all across the board. And Deckard goes down. 2 more spiders, and the spiders are still chasing. Stukov gets killed by Zeratul. Zeratul was putting in work until Osprey murdered him. Valkymer gets stunned out. The bombs would have been enough if he didn't have his shield. Now Docket is stuck in a zombie wall with, wouldn't you know it, spiders. This is why I love Mizubo. Yeah, those spiders are putting in a lot of work. Just to look at the stats real quick. Where is he? Mizubo has 8 kills. That's not a small number. Gazlo's got 6. Zeratul's got 4. It's 18-12. The game's not over. They have time to mount a defense. Junkrat's here, May's coming, and by the time they get through this keep, the other 2 should be alive. Boomer uses the ice block to stop the stun, but gets rooted afterwards. Does not get zombie walled, so she stays alive. And 4 seconds to Gazlo. Void Prison in 7 seconds. Ice Wall is available, so they just have to kill this Punisher. The team, they can just lock the other team out of the game while they deal with it if they want to. Poison Nova comes out. There's a big root. There's a big ult. Valkymer takes a ton of damage. Boomer goes down. Docket goes down shortly. There's a potion right there. But 4 members from Amethyst go down. The Punisher does die, but so does the core. And so that's too bad. There was a lot more action, a lot more back and forth. Phoenix Rising got a lot more kills. Their combo worked when they pulled it off. I'm a little surprised we didn't at least see a Void Prison on the core to keep it alive. It was up there at the end. He did use it. I think he only caught like Stukov in the back, but meanwhile the core went down. But healing was fairly even, except that they had the Medivh to supplement. Damage, Nazebo, top hero damage. Zol did a ton. Main tank Zol wants to be right in the middle. He did die a bunch for it. The noob last time didn't. But, you know, it worked out. Junkrat poked. Zeratul did a fair amount of chasing, although he paid the price quite a bit. Siege damage, Hogger, yeah, as I said, he was just in his own world. Tons of damage, tons of experience. Just pushing down buildings. Gave his team a big advantage. Gazlo was more with the team quite a bit because he wanted to combo with them. But good game. We'll wait and see. No, we won't, because we're going to Battlefield of Eternity. I was going to say, we'll wait and see if we have a game 3, but we definitely do. Battlefield of Eternity. Just gotta find it in my list. And I think Phoenix Rising Amethyst picked this one as well. So we're just waiting for CCS to join the lobby. Battlefield of Eternity. So in the first match, they took a lot of, you know, monster damage. There was the Artanis, there was the Raynor. So we'll see if they do similar picks this map. See if the Raynor comes out. Try and win the Immortal race. I can change the scene to this one. Nope, that's not the right one because we only have 3 maps. I think my map view is not doing it properly. Yeah, that's better. Alright, both teams are ready. We should be starting in just a moment.
Battlefield of Eternity.
Alright, so Can't Counterpick Stupid gets first pick again. It's interesting. Maybe Phoenix Rising Amethyst has information on maps that I think Counterpick Stupid doesn't like. Or maybe it's just they like these maps. But so far it hasn't seemed to pay off. So we'll see if this is their secret weapon map. Panning out the Diablo for all the bushes and corridors in the middle that you have to rotate through. Easy to get a wall stun during objective. And they banned the Stukov. Not at all surprised. And in response, they ban the Vala. She can do a lot of monster race, and if she goes the monster race build, she also is stacking Qs, and that can do a lot of hero damage. So, yeah, it's fair to get rid of that right away. And Rhaegar, not too surprising. Johanna is on the table once again. Johanna can be good with her blinds to stop the other team from racing for a little while. 2 stacks of that plus some condemns just to keep them busy, and then if they try to turn on you, you just iron skin and walk away. Gives your team time to race. And if you, yeah, there's the Joe. And if you pick something like a Raynor or a Tannis as your race, the blinds completely stop your damage. So it can be good. And in response, Tychus and Artanis. 2 characters that hate being blinded. But when they're not blinded, they can do a ton of damage. So blinds don't last forever. Play around them, you can get it in. And they can both race pretty well. Take amateur opponents. And then just Tychus with either just his normal attack damage is pretty strong, or the Odin damage can do a lot to help you race. We have Anduin and Gazlo. We've seen Anduin banned. Could we be seeing a Light Bomb Falling Sword combo? Could we be seeing Light Bomb Gravel Bomb? Could we be seeing Light Bomb Robo Goblin? Who knows? But that's a lot of stun potential. And even without the ult, there's the root after the stun to hold someone down. There's a lot of CC there. No Zul'jin. I think I've seen CCS use Zul'jin before. I'm not sure how attached they are to it, but what do they choose to take off the board? Around. The owl vision is good. The follow-up stuns to something are good, but I'm not sure what should be following up. And here's Cho'Gall. Someone ping Bahamut. We have a Cho'Gall. So they took the Tychus. There's no percent damage there. Hanzo can do percent damage later in the game. Falstad as well. But in the meantime, there's no obvious answer to it. And wouldn't you know it, there's Oriel. Cho'Gall and Oriel, best friends. Yeah, so it depends on how they play Cho'Gall, obviously. But Cho'Gall can just sort of push their way around the map. And on a 2-lane map, it's not like you're really giving up soak potential or anything like that. So it could be very scary. Although there is a decent amount of roots and CCs and things on the side of Counterpick Stupid. So they don't have sort of the obvious percent damage early answer, but they do have some form of answers. And yeah, Hanzo kind of needs to stack a bit before he gets good damage. Falstad can stack, but he's alright early. Gazlo is more CC, so I don't see them killing them particularly early. But we'll have to wait and see. Alright, starting on the blue side, we have Phoenix Rising Amethyst once again. We have Docket on Artanis. Jeez, I hate this. Space Pope and Demon Grand on Gaul. also known as Sparand. Lieutenant Barista on Oriel, and Sylvester Chung on Tychus. Zephy on Gazlo, Osprey on Hanzo, Valkymer on Joe, Witsend on Anduin, and Caledorn on Falstad. We have Searing Light once again. I don't know anything about Cho'Gall's talent, so I'm just going to highlight them and move on. Tychus attack range, amateur opponent, not surprising. Blind, flash heal cooldown, big game hunter, so we're going turrets, I guess. And frequent flyer, and we're going target practice. So Hanzo is not going scatter arrows, he's going single target with Stormbow. Which is surprising, because I thought scatter was the big percent damage and also the big race potential. So Cho is getting a bunch of damage poked at him, but so is Caledorn and Valkymer. Meanwhile, Zephy kind of trading evenly with the Artanis. Artanis has used their tap, but no biggie there. Cho still eating a bunch of poke damage. I can't see target practice's individual progress without looking at him specifically, which I could do. Now, Artanis, he missed the swap, but he does have the damage priority. He's winning the lane a little bit. Let's see, if I do this, he's hit Tychus twice and Cho'Gall 3 times. So he's got some good progress. It's going to take him a while to get the Artanis, obviously. But he needs to hit the Oriel. Meanwhile, Zephy getting very low. Gets swapped. Is this the kill? Does he go for the dash? No, maybe he didn't have it. Maybe he didn't want to take the keep shot and die. But it was close. Meanwhile, poke comes in. Cho'Gall is at half. But I don't see him dying anytime right away. Nobody's taking camps. Artanis getting his mana back. Gazlo does not have mana. So he's just getting healing globes and being fine. He wants the wave. He wants the camp. He's not sure where to go. He gets wave first. Falstad flies right over Artanis' head. That was invasion. Artanis knows what's up. But I'm not sure he can fight too. He might get a last second swap or something. Pull Falstad off the point. Bottom camp's getting started. Okay, that was his dash. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Caledorn finishes the camp. Yeah, he's getting it, no problem. Meanwhile, bottom, no contest. Camp for camp. Experience is perfectly even.
I shall purge your evil from this land.
Objective has started. Bruiser's not. Big damage onto Cho'Gall. Well, decent damage onto Cho'Gall. Meanwhile, the race is starting. Tychus is just going right in. Valkymer with the blind. The dash gets him out of the Gazlo bomb. But here's Cho. Falstad's clearing bot camp. Top camp was cleared a while ago. Big defense from Counterpick Stupid. Bunch of CC coming out, bunch of damage being traded back and forth. Not a lot of damage onto the Immortal yet. And looks like Cho has to back off for just a moment. Gets stunned out by Gazlo. Artanis dashes in but doesn't swap because he'd probably die. There's a little bit of poke happening and Falstad is slowly doing his tickle damage. But they're trading blows, but Counterpick Stupid is successfully defending their Immortal from far enough up that not a lot of damage is coming through, and it looks like they will get halftime. Just they keep throwing out turrets and bombs and blinds and arrows, and it's enough not to kill, just to keep them back. And there's halftime with Counterpick Stupid heavily in the lead. Just looking at the structures, just a little bit of wall damage here and there. So the structures are even. Counterpick Stupid has a tiny experience lead. But here comes the aggressive, or I guess defensive push. They're pushing very far aggressively to defend. Meanwhile, Artanis is racing. Falstad gets a good hammering, and he goes in for the kill, and the arrows from Hanzo find it. Tychus dies first. That was first blood at level 7, so that was a bit later than previous games. And now, with the root onto Cho'Gall and the Falstad damage still coming in, 2 and 3 kills go over to Counterpick Stupid. And that means they win the race. Cho'Gall stuck around just a little too long. CC'd for a little too long. They thought about getting their camp, but once the Immortal starts up, the other camps disappear and this one still shows. So they were highly at risk of being invaded because CTS would have known exactly where they were. And here it comes. Gazlo going a little bit forward ahead of his Immortal. But he's not afraid. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Falstad and Artanis are now laning against each other. Maybe now that they have their 7s, Gazlo wants to be part of the team. Or maybe because Falstad has his global, they feel he can rotate when he's needed. A big stun from the boss. Doesn't come to much, there's no real follow-up. Oriel and Cho were both low, but they survive. The fort does go down. I'm just going to say that before it happens because that's going down. It's got to go down. There it goes. Meanwhile, the offlane's doing just fine. If we look at hero damage, Hanzo's actually doing a whole lot. Joe and Gazlo are not far behind. Meanwhile, Tychus and I guess that must be Gall and Cho, they're doing a lot too, actually. So the damage is not too different. Here comes the Dragon Arrow with the Gravel Bomb, with the Root, with the Light Bomb, and Tychus goes down. Meanwhile, Oriel doesn't really have too many ways to escape. Cho'Gall does have his charges, but I guess they were down and he gets stuck. Caliban flies in just to watch him die. Not entirely necessary. It gives Artanis the chance to get this camp before they can rotate up, but they can take this keep. They do have turrets. They have a minion wave. Tychus is back up, but he's alone versus 5. They're pushing this hard. Just like in game 1, they're prioritizing the structures. They don't care that the top camp was taken. They don't care that they're not soaking top. They just want to, win the game. As soon as Cho arrives, they back up. Nice and safe. Gazlo's there in time. The walls haven't even gotten hit yet, so they didn't really miss anything with that. But heroics are here. We have Dragon's Arrow, Blessed Shield, Light Bomb, Gravel Bomb, and Gust. So that's a lot of stuns to chain together. And then a Gust to mess it all up by pushing them out of it. Then we have Crystal Aegis, Twisting Nether, Suppression Pulse, Odin, and Upheaval to come from the other team. Aegis, obviously, you can save your Cho'Gall. Nether and Upheaval, those are big damage cooldowns you can use to combo with yourself. And the blinds, there's not really anyone, I guess the Falstad. Everyone does auto attack damage, but there's no one that focuses on it. And Falstad, he did go auto attack build, so it'll stop him for a while. Here comes the Twisting Nether. Here comes the blind. Cho'Gall is charging in at Osprey, but he gets away. And all of those ults didn't even do much damage. They didn't come to much. So they're defending their Immortal. CCSs, that is. Phoenix Rising. Odin does come out. Dodges the Gravel Bomb, but the Light Bomb comes in. The Aegis comes in, but then Oriel goes down because she Aegis somebody else. Just tons of damage coming out on both sides, but Phoenix Rising Amethyst was standing in all of the stuns. And if you keep getting stunned, you're not going to survive. Meanwhile, Falstad's just like, you guys do your thing. I'm taking this keep.
Red team has destroyed a
So they're going to get the halftime. Phoenix Rising is going to respawn
under attack.
before the objective finishes. They may choose to come and defend, but they are down level 11 to 14. It's an uphill defense for sure. Not impossible. I was going to say all of the ult cooldowns are down on CCS's side, but they're coming back up soon. Blessed Shield's only 8 seconds. The other ones will be done before that. There's the Gust, there's the Upheaval. Caledon's in a bad spot for a moment, but that's what Anduin's for. And then the Root just makes the Twisting Nether not do anything important. Meanwhile, Osprey dodges the Phase Prism and just takes some poke damage, but he's fine. Joe soloing a camp. Artanis starts the race. Everyone else just hangs out, make sure that Osprey can't poke it. Does get the flip over the wall. Caledon going a little deep. Managed to stay alive. Artanis is slowly catching up, but with the team here now, I'm not sure. Yeah, one hammering and that's over. And Tychus gets unfortunately rooted. And here comes some ults. Bunch of ults just being traded, most of them whiffing at this point. But the Tychus is already down. Here comes Falstad with the Gust. But there's no follow-up, only Valkyrie was there. Oh, I take that back. Gazlo comes in from the off lane, gets the Grava Bomb, and they all die. Without that, they might have gotten the Oriole, but definitely not the Cho'Gall. So the good flank from Gazlo, and the Immortal's coming in top, but CCS is coming in bottom. And they're on core. They've got 8 seconds to take this down before everybody respawns. 7 seconds on blind. Catapults are here. 3 catapults. Upheaval is big. The roots from the core are big. Everyone's grouped up. But the damage isn't there. That could have been a huge defense. It's too bad it didn't work out. They are 4 levels down. That makes it really hard to mount something. I'm not sure how much damage Twisting Nether does, but it would have been big. I would have loved to see it. But that's 3 games. That'll be it. CCS wins. All 3 were pretty strong. I'm looking at the kill count. That last game was exceptionally strong. The first game was very strong. The second one was a lot more even, a lot more back and forth. But yeah, I'll see if anyone wants to do an interview. I'm gonna go. Where am I gonna go? Going to go. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go here. And we'll see if someone wants to do an interview.
Hi, Phoenix.
Hello, Caledon.
How are we doing this evening?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you feeling after that win?
I'm feeling good. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, but you know, when things go well, you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit of adrenaline and
Yeah.
a sense of accomplishment goes a long way.
Yeah, it does.
So you seemed to have a very clear strategy in game 1.
Yeah, so we love NEXOMANIA and we love, you know, NGS and we love the whole organization and stuff, and We have been experimenting through NEXOMANIA, expanding our hero pools, looking at new comps to play with. And I believe this one was in CCL, I believe. So this was someone saw a comp and we wanted to try it our own way.
And it definitely worked. You basically gave up the beginning objectives on Sky Temple and just pushed down forts and got a huge structure advantage that way.
Oh, sorry, I'm mixing up games. Yeah, that was for game 2 that we played our little comp. So
Yeah, I was going to mention that next.
yeah, game 1 we played heroes we were comfortable with. We had a plan to just macro game, and with Sky Temple, the macro is everything, you know. So we played a team that we knew we could just push. We played comfortable heroes, and we just pushed, and I believe we got the first fort before even the temples came up.
That's right. I was saying while I was casting that you're taking down the walls, you're going to make it so you're going to prioritize top temple, and then you just took the whole fort.
Yeah. We had a good plan to go back and get that camp, and we got to a point that we had pushed it hard enough, and as they were responding, we knew we could back out and we would finish it because our bruiser camp was pushing on it as well. So
Right. And then the second game you had main tank Zol and you had your healer switch characters I didn't notice it right away.
yeah, so I'm kind of a backup healer for the team. Witz is our healer, but yeah, that was the one where we thought we could explore a new comp that we saw elsewhere. I believe it was in ZCL or it was in Nexus Division. It was somewhere else, and we had talked about it, and we made it our own. We flexed in a little bit of CCS spice into it. So
Yeah. And it definitely worked out, although it was a lot of a bit closer game. Phoenix Rising had a number of good combos with their Gravel Bomb.
oh yeah, the Zeratul, they had their own wombo combo that they were playing off of, and they had to get to 10. They would have their Zeratul drop the Void Prison, or the May drop the Ice Wall, and
Yeah, they had
stasis
both
people.
options.
And then they had the follow up with the Junkrat. It was a really good wombo combo, but our plan was kind of look at level 1. We had a Azul root into a Nazebo zombie wall, into a silence, into
Yeah, you had
shields. So
you had a lot of moments where you just trapped them, and then May would ice block one of them, and then the zombie wall would come up, or the silence would come up.
Yeah, that was nice that May took. I mean, they took May because as soon as you hit D, that started the route for us. It started the combo. So it wasn't hard to zombie wall into a silence into a dead May coming out of a nice block for sure.
So how did you feel in game 3 when you saw the Cho?
It was spicy. I do believe that Valk said that they cheered. Someone said they cheered when they saw the Cho'Gall. We had planned out our comp already for that match, and it was nice that we had a Hanzo and a Falstad both with the ability to do % damage already. That appeared after the Cho'Gall. I mean, we had kind of talked through what we were going to do. We were going to kind of look for a stall game into a global experience push, right?
Right.
And then the Cho'Gall came out, and it made it that much easier for us to be opposite of where their bodies were. When there's only 4 bodies, it's easy to go 4 against 4 bodies and then have a Falstad pushing a lane and waiting for them to respond, right?
Right. I was actually looking at the Hanzo. His build, he went Stormbow first, and then he took the Giant Slayer for the scatter. So he didn't get the extra scatters for % damage.
But I and that was Hanzo was something we were kind of sniffing out, and like we were saying for Nexomania, we're exploring extra heroes. That's not an OS classic. Hanzo is not something that Osprey often plays, but it
Well, I
was
mean,
something they were warming up.
it did work out. You got a lot of good stuns. He didn't die. He got away a number of times and did good poke. He did a ton of damage. And in that game, nobody on your team died. You got 20 kills and gave up none. So that was pretty commanding. You were 4 levels ahead when you ended the game.
And I think that worked out well for us. Is we were defending the first few objectives. I believe the first objective they had 4 top, and I was pushing out bottom, and then I hit the wall, and then all I had to go do is get halftime as an auto attack Falstad. So we were defending as 4 top, our immortal.
Yeah. There were a number of times that you or someone else was just going off and doing your own thing in lane and just pushing and pushing and pushing, and it worked out really well.
And so with the Cho'Gall, that's a benefit is you just don't have the same number of bodies to meet the other team. You have a very powerful hero, but it's still only one body.
Right.
So.
And you had so many stuns that you could just layer on top of each other.
Yeah. So Phoenix Rising did awesome. They're a great opponent and everything, and we appreciate Boomer even subbing in for him. So that we could play, but it was we worked out some comps for some maps that we wanted to try, and it worked out well for us this time. So
very cool. Well, I don't have any other questions, so if you have anything else you want to say or shout outs or do your thing.
Of course, I have to shout out to Valk and Witz's mom, because they are brothers. In case people don't know that, it's not just Valk's mom; it's Witz's mom too. So shout out to
she must brothers. Be very proud.
Yeah, I think that Valk has actually showed her broadcasts of it before, but shout out to Witz and Valk's mom. Shout out to our opponents. You guys did great. Thanks for finding a sub and letting us still play for the evening. And shout outs to my team and shout outs to CCS for NEXOMANIA. It's we love this game as a community. So many people just love this game, and the fact that people are still putting together NEXOMANIA and NGS and CCL to keep this game alive. It's emotional a little bit. Like, so many people have the love for this game, so let's keep it alive as long as we can, right? Let's hope the Microsoft buyout, maybe bring some life back into it. Osprey would like to shout out Phoenix's legs. He says 4 legs, but I thought it was 6 legs.
No, it's 4.
Is it 4? Okay. Well, Os can be correct sometimes.
Well, yeah, the whole league is a lot of fun. I'm glad that CCS put it together, and shout out to Phoenix's legs. Yep, there it is. And thanks for playing. GG's and
GG's and
have a good night.
Thanks, Phoenix Rising, and thanks for broadcasting, Tin. We appreciate it.
I'm trying.
I was joking that we should ban Phoenix, even though you weren't actually playing.
I'm not sure if I would have been mad or not. But hang on one sec. I just gotta change my casting view because I want people to see the dead Phoenix emote in chat. I don't even know who these people are, and they're like bad mouthing my Phoenix.
Anyway, thank you again for casting. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Enjoy your evening.
You too. Have a good night.
Bye.
And yeah, that's going to be it for me. So GG's to the teams, and hopefully we get to see you all again.